Short trips seem harmless, right? But here's the shocker. In this video, you'll discover why those 5-minute drives are destroying your engine faster than any highway trip ever could. And at the end, the simple steps that can save you thousands in repairs. So watch closely. Number 9. The temperature trap. Most people think a short trip means distance. Drive 2 miles to the store, that's short. 5 miles to work, still short. But here's what's really happening. It's not about the miles at all, it's about temperature. Your engine oil works best when it reaches its full operating temperature, not the coolant temperature you see on the dashboard. That's different. We're talking about the oil itself, deep inside the engine. On a typical 5 to 10 minute drive, your coolant might hit 180 or 190 degrees. You think everything's warmed up, but the oil, it's still nowhere near where it needs to be. And here's the kicker. Most drivers do this every single day. 5-minute drive to drop off kids. 10-minute drive to the office. Quick trip to the grocery store. Your engine never gets the chance to reach full temperature. And that's when the damage starts to stack up. Anything under 15 minutes of continuous driving usually keeps your oil below normal operating temperature. And when oil stays cold, it can't do its job properly. Number 8. The cold start killer. Every time you turn the key, you're putting your engine through its most dangerous moment. Here's why. When the engine sits overnight, oil drains down into the pan. The upper parts, camshafts, rocker arms, cylinder walls, are left with just a thin film of oil clinging to the metal. Now you hit the ignition. The starter cranks, the engine fires up, and for those first few seconds, critical components are running with minimal lubrication. But here's what makes it worse. Cold oil is thick, like honey straight from the fridge. It doesn't flow easily. It takes time to get pumped up to the top of the engine where it's needed most. During those first 20 to 30 seconds, your valve train is working harder than it ever will during normal driving, but it's doing it with the least amount of protection. The wear rate during a cold start is significantly higher than normal operation. Some studies suggest several times more wear in those first crucial seconds, and if you're only driving 5 minutes after that start, the engine never gets warm enough to let the oil thin out and flow properly. Think about doing this twice a day, 5 days a week. That's 10 brutal cold starts every week. Over 400 cold starts per year where your engine is taking the hardest beating it'll ever experience. The solution sounds simple. Let the engine warm up before driving, right? But extended idling actually makes some of these problems worse, especially the next one. Number 7. The fuel contamination nobody sees. When you start a cold engine, the ECU dumps extra fuel into the cylinders. It has to. Cold fuel doesn't vaporize well, so the engine needs more of it to fire up and run smoothly. This is completely normal. Every car does it. But here's where short trips create a hidden problem. In a properly warmed engine, that extra fuel burns off completely. The heat vaporizes it. Everything's fine. But on a short trip, the engine never gets hot enough for that to happen. Some of that extra fuel ends up sliding past the piston rings and mixing with your oil. At first, it's just a tiny amount. You'd never notice it. But remember, you're doing this every single day. Monday's fuel mixes in. Tuesday's fuel mixes in. By the end of the week, your oil has become diluted with gasoline. And here's what that does. Oil mixed with fuel becomes thinner, less viscosity. It can't maintain the same protective film between moving parts. Bearings that should be separated by a thick cushion of oil are now running on a watery mixture that breaks down under pressure. Metal surfaces get closer together. Wear accelerates. Most drivers never realize this is happening. The dipstick still shows full. The oil still looks like oil, but its ability to protect has been compromised. After a few thousand miles of short trip driving, your oil has degraded far more than the mileage suggests. You think you're fine because you're only at 3,000 miles, but that oil has the protection level of something with 8,000 miles on it. The fix seems obvious. Just change your oil more often, and you should. But even with fresh oil, there's another problem building up. And if you're finding this information helpful, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon. We share practical car care advice every week that can save you real money. Number 6. The moisture and acid attack. Every time combustion happens in your engine, it creates water vapor. That's basic chemistry. Burn hydrocarbons, you get carbon dioxide and water. In a fully warmed engine, that moisture evaporates through the PCV system and gets vented out. No problem. But on short trips, the engine never gets hot enough to cook off that moisture. It condenses on cold metal surfaces inside the engine, on cylinder walls, in the crankcase, along the valve covers, and that moisture sits there, waiting for your next cold start to add more. Here's where it gets nasty. That water mixes with the byproducts of combustion, sulfur compounds, unburned fuel, combustion acids. Together, they form a corrosive mixture that attacks metal surfaces from the inside. You can't see it happening. There's no warning. But microscopic pitting and corrosion start forming on bearings, cylinder walls, and camshaft lobes. Over time, this leads to sludge formation. You know that thick, black tar-like substance you sometimes see when people open up neglected engines? A lot of that comes from moisture contamination. The acids break down the oil. The water emulsifies it. Eventually, the oil turns into a thick, nasty mess that can't flow properly. And here's the thing that shocks most people. This can happen even with regular oil changes. If you're changing your oil every 5,000 miles but doing nothing but short trips, you're still allowing moisture and acids to build up between changes. The oil never gets hot enough, long enough to purge the contamination. But if you think contaminated oil is the only problem, wait until you hear the next one. Number 5. Why modern engines are more vulnerable. Here's something that surprises people. Modern engines are actually engineered to improve emissions and efficiency, but that efficiency comes with trade-offs that make short trips even more damaging. Take piston rings. Older engines use thick, high-tension rings that seal tightly. Modern engines, they use low-tension rings, thinner, less spring pressure. Why? Because it reduces friction, which improves fuel economy. Great for highway driving. Not so great when you're doing repeated cold starts with fuel-contaminated oil. Those thin rings let more fuel slip past. More contamination, faster oil degradation. Then there's the tolerances. Everything in a modern engine is machined to tighter specifications, smaller clearances between parts. This makes them incredibly efficient when everything's working perfectly. But it also means they're less forgiving when oil breaks down or gets contaminated. A tiny bit of sludge that an old engine would shrug off can cause major problems in a modern one. And here's the big one: direct injection. The most new cars have it now. Fuel gets sprayed directly into the cylinder at high pressure, which is fantastic for power and efficiency. But it also means more fuel ends up on cylinder walls during cold starts. More fuel mixing with oil, more dilution. Older port injection engines spray fuel into the intake manifold, where it has a chance to vaporize before entering the cylinder. Direct injection doesn't give you that buffer. So when someone says they don't make them like they used to, there's actually some truth to it. Modern engines aren't poorly made. They're incredibly sophisticated and efficient, but they need proper operating temperatures and maintenance more than older engines do. Next, you'll see one more type of buildup that accelerates with every short trip you take. Number 4. The carbon buildup nobody talks about. Incomplete combustion creates carbon deposits. But here's what happens when you only do short trips. You're running the engine in its least efficient combustion phase, cold, rich fuel mixture, incomplete burn, and then shutting it off before it can clean itself out. That carbon has to go somewhere. It builds up on intake valves, especially in direct injection engines where there's no fuel spray washing over the valves. It coats the backs of valves. It accumulates in EGR passages. It can form crusty deposits in the combustion chamber itself. At first, it's barely noticeable. Maybe your fuel economy drops slightly. Maybe you feel a tiny hesitation on acceleration. But carbon buildup is progressive. After thousands of miles of short trip driving, intake valves can accumulate significant carbon deposits that restrict airflow. The engine has to work harder to breathe. Power drops, fuel consumption goes up. And here's the thing, a long highway drive used to be enough to burn off light carbon deposits. But modern emission systems run cooler to reduce emissions. That means carbon sticks around longer and builds up faster than it ever did in older engines. The fix usually involves walnut shell blasting or chemical cleaning. That's a few $100s minimum, sometimes over $1,000 depending on the engine. But even if your engine stays clean inside, there's another system that's failing from all these short trips, and most drivers never see it coming. Number 3. The battery death spiral. Starting your car is one of the most power-intensive things your electrical system does. The starter motor draws hundreds of amps. It drains the battery significantly every single time. Now here's the problem with short trips. After the engine starts, the alternator kicks in and starts recharging the battery. But it takes time. On a 5 or 10-minute drive, the battery barely recovers what it lost during startup. You shut the car off with the battery slightly more depleted than when you started. Do this once, not a big deal. Do it twice a day, every day. Your battery is constantly playing catch-up. Over weeks and months, the battery's state of charge slowly decreases. And when a battery spends too much time partially discharged, it develops sulfation. Lead sulfate crystals form on the plates, reducing capacity. Starting becomes harder. Eventually, you're stranded with a dead battery. But it's not just the battery. The alternator is working harder too, trying to recharge a depleted battery on every short trip. That extra strain shortens its lifespan. What should last 150,000 miles might fail at 80,000. And when it does, you're looking at a $300 to $500 replacement, plus the tow bill if it dies while you're driving. The irony: most people think their battery died because it was old. But short trip driving accelerates that wear dramatically. You might replace your battery every 3 years when it should have lasted 6. And here's what's important to be aware of. Number 2. Why your oil life monitor gets it wrong. Almost every modern car has an oil life monitoring system. That percentage you see on the dashboard that tells you when to change your oil. Most drivers trust it completely. The ECU says 30% oil life remaining. You've got time. But here's what most people don't realize. That oil life monitor isn't testing your oil. It's not analyzing contamination levels or measuring viscosity. It's using an algorithm based on engine parameters. How many times you started the car, how long you drove, what temperatures you reached. It's making an educated guess. And for normal driving, a mix of highway and city, longer trips, engines reaching full temperature, that algorithm works pretty well. But for pure short trip driving, it has no idea what's really happening to your oil. It sees you drove 3,000 miles. That's moderate wear, but it doesn't know that oil has been contaminated with fuel and moisture from 400 cold starts. So the monitor might say you still have 40% oil life remaining. In reality, that oil is already degraded past the point where it should be changed. You're driving around thinking everything's fine because the ECU told you so. Meanwhile, your engine is running on oil that's lost most of its protective properties. The solution isn't to ignore the oil life monitor. It's still useful. But if you're a short trip driver, you need to add time-based changes to your routine. Even if the monitor says you're fine at 6 months, change it anyway. Because oil degrades with time and contamination, not just mileage. But here's the good news. You don't have to change your entire lifestyle to protect your engine from all of this damage. Number 1. How to prevent the damage. The reality is, most people can't avoid short trips. Your commute is what it is. You've got to drop kids at school. The grocery store is 5 minutes away. That's life. But you can dramatically reduce the damage with a few simple habits. First, combine trips when possible. Instead of making 3 separate 5-minute drives throughout the day, knock them all out in one 15-minute loop. Let the engine reach operating temperature once, rather than torturing it with 3 separate cold starts. Second, take a longer drive once a week. 20 to 30 minutes of highway or continuous driving. Let the engine get fully hot. This gives everything a chance to burn off moisture, evaporate fuel contamination, and self-clean. Think of it as a maintenance drive. You're actively protecting a $15,000 to $20,000 piece of machinery. Third, change your oil based on time, not just mileage. If you're a short trip driver, follow the severe service schedule in your owner's manual. That usually means oil changes every 3,000 to 4,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first. Don't wait for the oil life monitor to hit 0. Don't stretch it to 8,000 miles because the oil looks clean. Fourth, don't idle to warm up. This is where people get confused. They think, I'll let it warm up for 10 minutes before driving. But idling actually makes fuel dilution worse and doesn't warm the engine efficiently. Instead, start the car. Wait 30 seconds for oil pressure to build, then drive gently for the first few minutes. Light throttle, low RPMs. Let the engine warm up under load. Fifth, and finally, if you notice any symptoms, rough idle, decreased fuel economy, hesitation on acceleration, get it checked sooner rather than later. Short trip damage is progressive. Catch it early and it's a cheap fix. Ignore it until something fails, and you're looking at thousands in repairs. And there you have it, the hidden damage short trips cause. Which one surprised you the most? Share it in the comments below, and click here for the next video. Thanks for watching.